It is your girl Skylar back with another Sweet with a Twist podcast episode. So it is episode 3 of season 2. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So last episode was about guys and girls being friends. Is it possible? How it's a controversial topic, all that good stuff. But now we're going to dive into the extended part of friendships, which is situationships, and what that entails, what that means, what is that, right? I mean, I think, when did this even become a thing, situationships? Like back in 2022 or something. I think I've never personally heard about situationships, like that term, until 2022, something around there. Like I never heard about this before. So I've had some, maybe you've had experience some situationships. And if you're not sure if you're in one or not, I got you. I got you. Okay. We're gonna talk about everything. Okay, everything. I'm gonna get personal with you guys. This is gonna be a lot for me. Okay. I don't really talk about, I guess, any, romantic or physical things I go through with a guy, like talking, mentality. I don't really talk about that, but we're gonna talk about it today. Okay, I gotta share a little bit of my craziness with you guys, what I've gone through. I have to, it's only right. So, situationships. They are a romantic or sexual relationship that is undefined and non-committal. People in a situationship are more than friends, but less than committed romantic partners. That is right. Nail on the head. Nail on the head. So, if you're not sure, just from that definition, you need to think about, okay, is this guy, does this guy fit this, what I'm going through with the guy? If it's yes, get out. Get out, okay? 5 Signs You're in One by Cleveland Clinic. So, 1, no labels or exclusivity. So, no, you're not exclusive. 2, no clear boundaries. You literally, how do you put boundaries on a situationship without saying, oh, we're just friends, or hey, I'm going to cut this off, or hey, let's go ahead and just start dating? How? So there's no clear boundaries, at all. They're more than a friend, but they're less than your boyfriend. 3, irregular or superficial contact. So literally everything is kind of surface level, or it's not consistent. You kind of pop in and out with that person. They pop in and out of your life, in and out of your text messages, in and out of your Instagram DMs. You don't really have a foundation of a commitment, or friendship. But even friendship is not consistent all the time. You might pop in and out with, for your friends, but you're still friends. 4, lack of integration into each other's lives. I just said that. Literally, you're not telling your parents about him, or people that you're really close to, or love. You're not bringing, when someone asks you or asks you, are you single? You're probably going to say yes. Are you dating anyone? You're probably going to say no. So they don't really have a set place in your life, except for, I guess, booty calls or whatever, So you're not integrated into each other's lives, at all. 5, the relationship doesn't grow or end. So basically, if you are in a situationship, most of the times it doesn't go anywhere. Honestly, situationships are some of the worst things to ever be invented. It really sucks. They can drain you mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. Um, Situationships just aren't worth it. So if you are in limbo with a guy, if you're a girl, and you're not sure like where his head is at, where you lie in his life and all that, ask him. And if he's giving you iffy things, and but y'all guys have put a lot of, you know, emotional and physical like feelings into it, and you want something more, but he doesn't look like he's willing to commit or commit to you, you're probably in a situationship and it's just not worth it. Like, they're some of the worst. Like, it's so bad. I mean, I've questioned myself on a few of the situations that I've gone through with a few guys, and it's made me question my worth, my appearance. Like, I don't have the best outlook on my body or the way I look. And it really has been hard because one guy that was my friend back in high school, but then he like moved away and I never saw him again after freshman year. He actually randomly hit me up back in 2023 because he had found me on Instagram, and I'm not gonna go into everything, but let's just say I thought he was trying to basically catch up with the old times. Like, I literally told him, "Hey, that's so crazy. Like, we haven't seen each other since freshman year of high school. Well, my freshman year. He was a sophomore, but like, wow, that's crazy that you found me. You know, I was catching up and talking about high school and like what he was doing now. Like, that's what we were doing. I'm thinking, okay, it's friendly, it's chill. After a while, he started asking me like, "Do you play iMessage games?" Just kept saying, "No, I don't. I don't play iMessage games anymore." Like, that was so back in high school. Like, I don't do that. Then he kept kind of, and then he said, "Okay." At this, he was just like, "Okay, straight up, I just want your number." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I gave him my number. Um, and then he was like, "Oh, I had a crush on you back in high school." I said, "Oh, really? I didn't know that." Like, I did not know that. Honestly, to have a crush on me back in high school, like, I didn't really look the best. So it was like, okay. But touche, touche. I was like, okay. Then, I'm an active person, I guess, on social media. So I post pictures on Instagram, I post stories, and I pictures duh of myself. He basically went to say, "You know you're fine, you know you're hot," like, and then he got kind of into the disrespectful realm, and I just said, I'm one of those people when that happens and I get uncomfortable. I notice that I tend to like kind of laugh stuff off, even though it really made me uncomfortable and disappointed and disrespected. But I kind of was like, uh, so I'm not gonna say, but he did get pretty like just disrespectful. And I just said, okay, I don't like this. This is not who I thought it was. And then we're gonna fast forward. I think this is like, yeah, months prior. Okay, so we're gonna fast forward to September of 2023. So that month, um, I did I did lose my grandmother, and my grandmother was literally my whole entire world. And so the week that we were planning my grandmother's funeral, I posted something and he was like, "Oh, what happened, or like what's wrong?" And I just told him, like, despite how he disrespected me, I just told him. I said my grandmother passed away. He gave his condolences, like he was nice, respectful then. And then I think a day later, because mind you, filming, I mean, not filming, I'm planning my grandmother's funeral. Me and my family are planning my grandmother's funeral. That's all that needs to be said. Like, no one should be talking to me or asking me, and like, it was just like, that's all that needs. Did you not just hear me? Give me some respect. Give my family some respect. Give my grandmother some respect. I don't know what he was on, but he texted me and he was like, "Oh, I don't know why your texting is so dry now. Like, you don't even want to talk." Like, I was like, "Bro, did you not just see what I just said? My grandmother passed away and we're filming." I mean, I keep saying that. And we're planning the funeral. Like, what the do you not get from that? Of course, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to talk to no guy that is not my boyfriend if I had one. Like, I'm not going to be over here trying to hit you up and while my grandmother just passed away. Like, what? So at that point, I had to cut that dude off. I told my best friend, was like, "Bro, I gotta cut this dude off," and she was so disgusted too. I said it's one thing that he already disrespected me and said some really uncomfortable things to me, but it's another when you do that to my family and then to my late grandmother that literally just passed away. I just told you that, literally. While I was texting him, the fact that I even had some decency to even text him back and tell him that while I was actively planning her funeral, while literally a day after she just passed away, the fact that I could do that just proves to you what type of person I am. I wasn't seeking for a guy to give me comfort. I wasn't seeking to talk to a guy about, liking me, hitting me up. Like, I was not doing that. I genuinely said, okay, the guy asked me and I'm going to tell him. But he slapped me in the face with disrespect yet again. And this one was 10 times worse. And it was just like, okay, I definitely don't like you. You disgust me. And I'm good on you. Like, I'm Gucci. So I was like, okay. And I ignored him. And then I think when we came back like a few days later, I posted something on my Instagram story. He proceeded to swipe up and say something about I looked like, I guess, somebody. And I said block. Still, I was dealing with planning my grandmother's funeral. Like, a lot was going on, like a lot. And so I just didn't have time for his games, jokes, disrespect. I blocked him. So I said all that because that's what situationships, I think, kind of stem from. Is, I think, on the guy's side, it is so physical, literally, and like sexual. And that's basically what happened to me. I had another guy do the same thing, but he wasn't like, I mean, it was kind of like a joke. I took it as a joke, but he wasn't as, definitely as like disrespectful as this guy was. Um, so be careful with situationships. I don't think they're worth anything to anyone, guy and girl. If you're going to like somebody and want to, have a talking stage or whatever, do that. Just do that. Don't put any, like, you just want to hit them up at night you just want to, talk to them because the physical tension, and you just want them because of their body or their looks. Please don't do that, because at that point it's not worth it. It's worthless. So genuinely like somebody, I don't think this day and age knows what that means or entails. It literally means that there is not everything is physical. Okay, when you genuinely like somebody, most of the time, and guys, I think, can agree to this, most of the time when you genuinely like somebody, obviously you're attracted to them, duh, physically. um, so that means that's good. That department's checked off. The next one is when you are intellectually, emotionally on like the same wavelength with this person. Like y'all guys could talk honestly even about just cookies, and you will enjoy that conversation because it's with the person you truly like. I think a person really want to say, hey, I really want to like date this person, is when you can just talk to them about anything at that point. It's something about that. Please don't get in a situationship. And also, if someone is trying to, I don't know about forcing, but like trying to really push, this situationship, block them like as fast as you can, because that's weird. I have also gotten like from a random guy. He added me on Snapchat, and we weren't talking, but he was just like, "Oh, you're pretty. Da da da. Where are you from?" You know. Then one day he asked me what I looked like or whatever, and I sent him a picture, and then he said, "Can we be friends with benefits?" And I said, "What?" I said, "What?" I said, "No, no, I'm not that girl. Like, I'm not doing that. No, no, no." I also had another guy do that the first time. He was downright like, "Oh, I'm going to take you from your boyfriend." And I was like, haha, that's if I. No, I was joking. I was like, haha, I don't think he would like that. I was joking. I did not have a boyfriend at the time. And he was like, "Oh, so you do have a boyfriend?" I was like, "No, not that I know of." And then he's like, "Oh, okay, I want you." And I was like, "Whoa, hold on, okay." I'm not so used to guys being so direct with me. Um, so that really threw me off how direct the guy was. And I was just like, "Oh, okay." And then like, "You're really pretty. I want you to be mine," and all of this. And then I said, and then he was like, "Can I just take you out and see where it goes?" And I was like, "Oh, thanks for the offer, but no thanks." And then I said, "We could be friends." And he's like, "Friends?" And then I said, "Yeah." He was like, "Friends with benefits?" I was like, "Friends with no benefits?" And it was like a whole thing. So, yeah. So be careful with that stuff. I personally don't understand why guys can be so bold to just say that. Or not even say it, text me, message me. And it's like, what the? You saw me because you saw a picture, and you physically and sexually let those impulses and urges like get to your head, and just text me friends with benefits. Oh, can you be it was just like, nah, I'm not into this. So I don't know why guys are so bold to do that. I personally do not appreciate it, but yeah, it happens, unfortunately. So, wow. So the 5 common red flags by Cleveland Clinic is one-sidedness, fearing or feeling undervalued, dishonesty, and fear of communication / vulnerability. And that is so true. Like, y'all guys don't get situationships, like I said, mess you up mentally. Like, so bad. Situationships just aren't healthy. Like, every human wants to know where they lie in someone's life, where they stand in someone's life. And being told that you're in a situationship or you are this situation is not it. It's just too much. It's too much going on. It's like, okay, let's say we were talking and I don't expect a guy that I'm talking to, I don't expect him to be like, oh yeah, cut off all the other girls you talk to, don't talk to any other girls. I do not expect that. Now, unless we really were like, let's, try to start dating, then that will be different. But people who are like, or guys, I think I've heard a few guys say, well, I don't want the girl to be talking to anyone else while I'm in it, like talking to her. And it's like, huh? I don't go out my way to be talking to no guy, to be in no guy's DMs, text messages, in their face, trying to hit them up. I don't be trying to do none of that. So when a guy hits me up, and if it is just to say, oh, you're pretty, I take the compliment and I just go. I don't continue to try to have a talking stage and start something. I don't do that. Most of the time, it's the guy that does that to me. And it's like, okay, we're going to keep this going because I thought we were finished. But it's just not it. Just talking about it just makes me sad. So, man, I hope y'all guys enjoyed this episode. I will see y'all guys in my next episode. Hopefully, it's on a better note than situationships. I love y'all guys, and I will see y'all guys later. Bye.